Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jaya Mudire Astaprayasu Abhadresu Kimbhavakasevaya Dev Tamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Kriti Nandanaya Cha Maraya Kaya Namo Namaha. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 9, entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge, and text 13. Mahatmanastu mam partha Prakriti Mastidaha Janti Ananyamasto Natva Bhutari Navyayam Mahatmanastu mam partha Janti Ananyamanaso Natva Bhutari Navyayam Mahatmanastu mam partha Meri Prakriti Masitaha Janti Ananyamanaso Natva Bhutari Navyayam Mahatmanastu mam partha Mahatmanastu mam partha Synonyms. Mahatmanaha, the great souls. Two, but mom, unto me. Partha, O son of Krita, Daivi, divine. Prakriti, nature. Ashritaha, having taken shelter of. Bhajanti, render service. Ananya, Ananya Manasaha, without deviation of the mind. Atva, knowing. Bhuta, of creation. Adi, the origin. Avyayam, inexhaustible. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O son of Krita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Please repeat after me. O son of Krita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Purport. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how is this affected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes free from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called Daivi Prakriti, divine nature. So, when one is promoted in that way, by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul, Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the unswerving service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Omanyanatimurandasya Jnananjanaskalakaya Chakshurunilitam Yena Tasmin Shri Gurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Navavishtam Avidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamiyam Ati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Gurum Shri Yudhavadakamam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagarjanam Sagarjana Tam Amsajivam Satvaitam Sattvatam Parijanam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sagarjana Lalita Shri Visaram He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Kanchana Gopinati Vishavanu Krishna, Prabhu Nityananda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. This is chapter 9. Now we are in the 13th sloka. So slogan number 1 to 3, we heard about the Krishna's, know about Krishna, what is the qualification and what are all the disqualification. The first sloka itself, Krishna is saying that, oh Arjuna, you are non-envious, unaswayable. So because of you are non-envious at any point of time, so I am giving this the most confidential knowledge. So and those who are envious, Krishna is not revealing himself. To understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is only possible if Krishna is revealing to us. So Krishna is revealing to himself to the non-envious and friend Arjuna. So in the text 4 to 10, we studied about how Krishna is Aishwarya Jnana, Krishna's Achintya Veda relationship with the material world. And then now we are coming into the part that how the non-worshippers and worshippers of Krishna will be discussed. And the text number 12 also, how Krishna is explained that, like who is now in this text, Krishna is talking about the Mahatma, and in the text number 12, 11 and 12, Krishna is talking about the person, those who are the Duratma, like Avajananti Mamuda, Manusam Dhanam Asritam, Parambhavam Ajananto, Mama Bhutva, Mageshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. Then in the text 12, saying, Mohasa Moha Karmano Mohajana Vicheti Saga Raksasim Asudim Chaiva Prakritim Mohinim Sitaga. Those who are thus bewildered or attracted by demonic and atheistic views, in the deluded conditions, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So now Krishna is telling about who is the great soul. who is the great soul. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritim asritaga bhajanti ananya manaso jnatva bhutari abhyayam. So, who is Mahatma? Great soul. Who is great soul? So, who is Mahatma? Those who are not deluded, the great soul, under the protection of the divine nature, Devi Prakriti. So, in relation to this, in the 7th chapter, Krishna is explaining about this. There also, his divine nature, like Devi Esa Gunamaya, Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durakya, Mayam Etam Tarantite, like 17. Devi Esa Gunamayi. Maya Mam Yeva Daivihi Esa Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durakya, Mam Yevaye Prapatyante, Maya Etam Tarantite. So here also, Krishna is talking about this Devihi Esa Gunamayi. So here Krishna is talking about his the 3 modes of material nature. That is also his divine energy of mind. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Here also saying that here Krishna is talking about his Devi Prakriti. Here is that we can understand from the previous sloka 12. Krishna is talking about this Mohasa. Krishna is talking about Mohasa in 3 times in the previous sloka. Moha Asa, Moha Karmana, Moha Jnana. And those people called Rakshasam, Raksasim Asuritam. Because they are deluded by the demonic and atheistic views. So here, the Mahatmas, they are under the protection of the divine nature, Krishna's divine nature. So we frequently hear about this, how the Lord is taking direct control of the devotees. So once the soul is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, he is not comes under the jurisdiction of this material energy, the three modes of material nature. The Lord is directly controls them. What are all the necessity, everything? That is the reason they are Mahatmas. They are protected by the divine nature. So, who is Mahatma? Like Krishna is saying that in 7.19 also is saying, Bhagunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvam Vidi Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Who is Mahatma? After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders to Krishna, surrenders unto me, knowing the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So this is the qualification of the Mahatma. So Krishna is everything. In Brahma Samhita, Brahma also is praying that Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So coming to this understanding that Krishna is everything takes many births. And after following all this understanding, taking many births, following different types of austerities, penances, and practices, karma, jnana, ashtanga, so many things they are taking. So they take many janmas, then they come to understand that Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So how this Mahatma here, Krishna is saying that it takes a person to take many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, then only he comes to the stage that Vasudevam Sarva Vidhi Mahatma. But in this 13th text, and Srila Prabhupada gives how a Mahatma is, like we can say that how a Mahatma is become, how a soul become Mahatma. And Prabhupada is giving an example, how Mahatma that we will see. So what is the activities of Mahatma? Mahatma Ananya Manaso, Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. They are fully engaged in devotional service. They have no other activities. Completely, they are engrossed in the devotional service, and not only they are doing the devotional service, they engage whoever coming into their contact, they engage them, everybody into the devotional service. That's what the spiritual masters are doing. That they serving the Lord and they engage their disciples to serve the Lord. That is the duty of that is the activities of the Mahatma. So why Mahatmas are engaged in devotional services? Because they know Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. They know Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. They understand that Krishna is everything. So understanding this point, like theoretical is there, then realization is different. We all understand that Krishna is everything. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Everything is emanated from him. Aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajantema pudabhava samandita. So everything is emanated from him. But when we understand this, again, sometimes we are taking shelter of this material nature. Like we theoretically we understand that Krishna is everything is come from him. Krishna will provide everything. But many times, since we are sadhaka, we are practitioners, we are not having a firm faith that like we are not, at least some of them are not Mahatmas. So we depend, we are turn away from Krishna, and then we, by our own endeavor, we try to solve the so-called problems of our life. We are trying. But devotees, the Mahatmas, they know completely that it's everything is from Krishna. Krishna will do everything. And when we are doing bhakti, everything will be carried out automatically. This they realized. One time in Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, when he was in ashramam, then some of the devotees they are discussing themselves that like, see, now our Guru Maharaj is having a lot of work. He cannot concentrate on maintaining this ashram and other stuff. So now we have to take the responsibility, and then we have to go there to meet people and bring whatever are the necessity to run the ashram, then other activities, everything. So they're really concerned, and then they are discussing about that. We have to take this responsibility, and then we have to run this like that. They are discussing themselves. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada heard about this thing. Then he called all the people, and tomorrow onwards, nobody should go out and beg for something. Everything you all sit and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and read scriptures. What are all the things? You don't need to go. I will take care of that part. Because Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was worried because that even though the intention of the disciple is good, but their understanding is wrong. Because Krishna is providing everything, then how they have doubt in their mind, and then we need to endeavor all this thing. Then the next day, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur went outside and meet some people, and he brought so much things which are sufficient to run the mata for a month and so much money in one day, because he knows that Krishna is providing. Krishna will provide whatever the necessities, and completely he will provide. The Krishna is providing. So then the disciples understand that, then they are very morose that we think like that we are doing. No, we are not doing. Krishna is providing everything. Like this story, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in lifetime, we can see that. So they are engaged because they know completely Krishna, the Supreme Personality, is the original and inexhaustible. So he's the original, and he's everything is Krishna. Then what is the point? We have to go other sides. Like when this is the practical. This is the practical realization, and in theoretical understanding here differs. Devotees, how the Mahatmas, the great personalities, are completely dependent on Krishna. Otherwise, you can imagine how Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the West, he has only 40 rupees or 49, something like that, $7 or something like that, and he went on the ship, cargo ship, free ticket. Nobody he knows in the West, the foreign land, and the culture is totally different. Prabhupada is a very, wonderful Vaishnava. How he will, if he thinks that, when I'm going there, whether I will get, whether I will meet the right people, or whether I will get prasad, what I will do, how he didn't think anything. Like he went there, he knows that he has the firm faith that Krishna is the doer. Krishna will give everything. So he went there and everything. Now the whole world is following devotional service. He has the firm faith on his Guru's word, and he's have the firm faith on the holy name, and he went there and simply chant Hare Krishna mantra under the tree, and people are all. Prabhupada used to tell you are the you are all the great souls sent by my Guru Maharaj. So Prabhupada is not claiming that I'm created everything. Gives the spiritual master. You are all very dear to my spiritual master. My spiritual master sent all of you to assist in his mission. So this is the Mahatma. They are the real Mahatmas. They are under the divine protection. They are under the divine protection. They never comes under the like the material. They never comes under the three modes of material nature. They are under the protection of divine. So these are all our Guru Paramparas. After 6 Goswamis, our Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, Gaurav Babaji, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and other sincere disciples of Srila Prabhupada. See, we are having the great fortune that we are come under the discipline parampara. There is no shortcomings or no shortage of Mahatmas. So we are the protection of the Mahatmas, only Mahatmas. We are under the line of Mahatmas. We can, from their life history, we can see that how they completely depended on Krishna. From the acharyas, we can see how they are completely dependent on Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj is a magistrate. So in our Guru Parampara, in all situations, we can take an example from our Guru Parampara. We can take an example, and then we can lead our life. For anybody comes, there is we can take. Bhaktivinoda Maharaj is a grahastha, wonderful grahastha, and is having children, 10 children, and he's a magistrate holding very high position in British government, and he did wonderful service to like he revived almost the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, and he wrote so many books, and he prayed to the Lord that you give me son who can help me to spread the movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement has to be fulfilled. I need a person who can able to do that. And then he prayed. Then as a son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, as a ray of Vishnu, he took birth in Bhakti Thakur family, and then he propagated, and then later on how Prabhupada take up this mission, and then this is going on. So Bhakti Thakur is even though of all his duties, he is do bhajan very wonderfully. He sleep very less only, very less. Then he gave how one can utilize his time 24 hours. He gave for 8 hours is for body, 8 hours for the job, and 8 hours for soul. So 24 hours. So he split it, and then he performed, how the same way we have to live all these things. Then Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj, he is not at all, he do not want to associate with the worldly minded people to avoid such crowd, and he just go nearby the very formidable place, and he sit there and he do his bhajan, because nobody will come and disturb, because nobody dare to go that place, so that he will not get disturbed. So he sit there and he do bhajan. And Bhaktivinoda Maharaj is instructed his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, you go and take initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. If you are not able to get initiation, don't come to your home. Because he gave a strict instruction, and we all know how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj went to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, he put himself in a very humble position and say that I cannot able to take any disciples because I am not qualified, or like that. Then he insisted, then he postponed that I will ask Krishna, and then I will let you know. Like he repeatedly goes, and one point of time he said, if you are not accepting me as your disciple, then I have to leave this body. I have no other choice. Then he accepted. When Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj is writing about his Guru Maharaj, he is saying that, like my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a very learned scholar, he is a philosopher, astrologer, he writes Surya Siddhanta, he teach English to the British people. So he's highly learned and highly learned, and his father is a very exalted personality. He comes in a very aristocratic, all these things, but he accepted Gaur Kishore Das Babaji as a spiritual master. Then an intelligent person can understand that the glories of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. The great personality, somebody who's going and surrender to one simple sadhu means, then the intelligent person can understand the glorious nature of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is writing about my Guru Maharaj, when I went and meet, he's opened his heart and he saying, when I went and meet my Guru Maharaj doesn't see any good qualities, any high prestige from me. He just neglected all those things, Then I understand that these are all the secondary things for devotional service. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writing like that. And Srila Prabhupada, he says about his Guru Maharaj that Prabhupada, we know that the Prabhupada distributed this holy name to the whole world and he translated all the books and distributed, and he made almost every country, like 108 temples within the span of 10 years' time. Prabhupada made centers, big temple, Varnashrama projects, so many projects. Prabhupada made everything, and Prabhupada humbly says that I am just 5% of my spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So this is the philosophy that Achintya Veda Tattva. We cannot able to conceive our our Guru Paramparas, how their mood and their empowerment, all these things. These are all the Mahatmas, okay? The greatest personalities. So before we are coming into Krishna consciousness and we are not coming into these Prabhupada books, we think that Mahatmas are the great personalities means we have different opinion in our mind. We call this our freedom fighters, Mahatma means generally, all Indians, that Mahatma means Gandhiji. Somehow or other, Gandhiji also read Bhagavad-Gita, but he denies Krishna, like he talks some other philosophy that, Krishna, then, like Mayavada philosophy, doesn't accept Krishna as a person, he doesn't accept Krishna. He didn't, like whenever during his freedom struggle, whenever every day he used to read Bhagavad Gita to get strength to fight, but not in the devotional way. He is not surrendered himself to Krishna in that way. So Mother Teresa, the great personality, she did a lot of things, and these are all the people they see that the outer coverings of the jivas. Like Prabhupada used to say that if you want to save a person who is drowning means, like, oh, I'm going to save, like that, you just take his shirt from, drowning person, you are taking his shirt, means, oh, okay, I saved his shirt. And this is kind of the thing, like, these kind of things. So actual saving is one has to, the jiva, the misdirected souls, a person who is directing the misdirected civilization or misdirected soul towards Krishna. That is the real service. That is the greatest service. Another example, like we are polishing the cage, and inside the bird, they are not feeding anything, means the bird will die very soon. So that is the thing for we are doing the welfare activities for people in materialist way. If we want to really save a soul, means that like there are many millions of birds, like we are coming into this material world and wandering in different forms of 84 lakhs forms, different forms, like we are wandering. But the real service is that one who helps to get out from this place, material world. This material world is a temporary, to fall in disaster. So the Mahatma's efforts are to take away these souls from this, like this prison house. So that is the reason Mahatmas no need to come to this material world, because to satisfy Krishna and to please Krishna, they are coming to this place, and help us fallen conditioned souls to go back to Godhead. That is the symptom of Mahatma. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a very means this, like by just seeing him, by just hearing him, people get transformed. There is one story in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's life that one time his disciple went and preached the devotional service, now how to do the Mayavadi people. Then that Mayavadi is very strong person. He knows everything, how to twist the scriptures, and he win over from all these things. Then this devotee is telling, he's a very humble devotee. He's telling, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We are all his sons. We have to serve. That is our nature. Soul's nature is always serving. We cannot be ideal. In the Brahma Jyoti, we have to be ideal. Our soul's nature is not that. Then we fall down. He's explaining. But that person is very expert he's giving counter argument, and he's saying that he's proving that this Mayavada philosophy, one with the Lord, is the right way. I am also a Lord. I am Lord. I'm assuming this human form. After I leave this body, I left my ego. Then I will merge with the Lord. There is no difference but between me and Lord. He established, and he cannot be able to defeat that Maya philosophy, Maya philosopher. Then he said, okay, you are very scholar. You are saying all the arguments. I am unable to, convince you to come to the devotional service. But I am sure you will be convinced when my spiritual master is speaking. Then I heard this thing. He is very happy that the Mayavadi, because if Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur somehow I can get the opportunity, if I defeat him, then I make everybody is into a Mayavadi school. So then he has planned, oh, that's nice. We can arrange, then we will see. Like that, then after that, from that day onwards, he makes a lot of notes, how to argument, good argument, so many questions, because he knows that he heard about Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then he made all homework, everything is ready. That time, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was planning to visit Allahabad for some establishing a center or something like that. So when he went there, and this person he came to meet him, and this is the chance. Then to establish our philosophy is the right philosophy. Then all the devotees, to going and seeing Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj is not very easy. So all the devotees are saying that see, you cannot talk to Maharaj, Guru Maharaj. You have to be very humble. You have to talk to this one nicely, politely. All that person is a very clever guy. Okay, he's saying, okay, I'll do everything. I'm not asking. I have some questions I just asked, but his intention is to defeat Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So when he went there, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is sitting. He went there, and he sits. And immediately Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is talking about his Krishna's philosophy, because he is so compassionate that he gives this the love of Krishna to everyone. He talks, and this person, this Mayavadi, from eyes, his tears are coming out. It's a devotional service. He's talking so much. Then he could not ask any single question. He sits there. And after that, a few minutes, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati went away for the next day. Then he realized, oh, I'm coming with a different purpose. But how it is possible that I could not be able to ask any question, single question I could not be able to ask. Okay, tomorrow we will try again. Like that, he's making a plan. The second day also he went there, and he could not be able to ask any single question, because that is the power of a Mahatma. By just seeing him, you could not be able to ask anything, and in Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is giving lecture, and then he became the greatest devotee. He became the greatest devotee in due course of time. That is the power of the Mahatmas. Just by seeing them, that's what we are saying, that Sadhu Sangha, Navamatra Sadhu Sangha. By just having a fraction of second, lava, we read what is the time duration of lava. Lava, some 8 by 45 seconds, something like that we read. It's not even a second, it's a fraction of second association of the devotees, of the great personalities, change the life of entire person. We heard many stories from Naga also, how he saved the brother of Bhavaraj. Who is that? Normally saved one person. Who saved Narmani from Bhavaraj? He say this Durvas Muni and fight with the devotee. Ambrish Maharaj brother. He's a Bhavaraj. He's full of sinful activities. And Ambrish Maharaj requests Narmani just give him association. He's doing a lot of sinful activities. Then when Narmani he goes and meet him, he's chasing him away, go away like that. Then Narad said, if suppose when you able to go to Emerald, you just say this one. What is the gain one will get? Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha. Then we know the story when all they went to Yamaraja, and then because he is a sinful person, they take him to Yamaraj, and then that time he remember that like now we are in trouble, like Yamaraj is we are going to get punished. So that time that sadhu is told that what is the benefit one can get if he has a lava matra sadhu sangha. When he asked Yamaraj he said I don't know the answer. Then they bring him to Lord Shiva. We'll go and ask Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva also that for this I cannot able to answer. Let us go to Vishnu. So they went for Vaikuntha to meet along with this person. Then Vishnu says that like see whoever comes here in Vaikuntha, he cannot able to go back. So let him be there. There you all go and do your duty. So that is the power of association of Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. So that is the great personalities can transform the life of a conditioned soul, and their only job is to serve this conditioned soul, bring back to ordinary. So one more incident story in Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur life. One time, one devotee of so many stories come all related to the great personalities and how then we can discuss about that also. That one time, one devotee, he went there for collections and he went one householder house, and then he met one Mataji and he glorified her like anything. You are the personification of Lakshmi. You are Lakshmi. Like you are so much. You have so many wealth is there. He glorified her like anything. Like you are doing. Then by hearing about this sadhu glorifying this Grahastha Mataji, she gave so much. She gave full cart of load of necessities and gave so much money and everything. Then he came back to ashram, where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to know that this person collecting so much money and other things. Then he asked, "Oh, you did a good job. Now, how did you do that? What you did?" Then he said, "Guru Maharaj, I spoke to her. I glorified, I flattered her like anything. You are the Lakshmi. You have all the things, opulences, everything is there. Then I told about Lakshmi, all these things. Then she was very happy and she gave all these things." Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj told, "Have you spoke to her about Krishna?" Like that, yeah. Honestly, Maharaj, I didn't talk anything about Krishna. I just talked about Lakshmi and then I read all this. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, "Take all the things and go to her and tell her about Krishna. Tell her about Krishna. Tell her about Krishna's glorification and the importance of the devotional service. Only you teach her, you tell her. If she hears after that, if she gives anything, you bring it. Otherwise, we don't need." So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj said that we don't need any cheap donation, because here is the viewpoint of Mahatma and an ordinary devotees, ordinary soul. So the disciple is thinking that we are getting so much, and it will be helpful for our functioning the month, our preaching activity, everything it will use. We take it, but the Mahatma is thinking that who is she to give, because everything is belongs to Krishna. When we present this Krishna conscious philosophy, if she accept, if she please, then let her give donation, we will accept. Otherwise, we do not need any cheap donations. Like that. This is the great soul. They understand that this everything is provided by Krishna. So the devotional service is so glorious, and why as a sadhaka we are finding difficult to attain things. The four kinds of weakness of heart. So this in the Bhajana Ragasya, Bhakti Vinod Maharaj is talking about the four kinds of weakness of heart. So, Tucha Sakti, Kuti Nandi, Masteryam, Swapratistha, Hridaya Durbalyam, Bole, Sasvat Neyam, Kila Chaturvidam. The intelligence say there are four kinds of spiritual weakness: trivial attachments, fault finding, envy, and the desire for personal aggrandizement, personal glorifications. So, in relation to that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing that Krishnetara Visaya Asakti Kutinati Paradroha Pratistase Etachari Hridaya Darvalya Sastre Nirdarila Chaya Ritu Chaya Urmi Kihate Janmina. Attachments to things other than Krishna, holding grudges against others, and seeking personal aggrandizement are the four kinds of weakness of heart as attained by scriptures. These six enemies and six waves take their birth in this weakness. Jata dina ye sabha anartha nahi chare, tata dina bhakti lada kahu nahi pare. As long as one does not rid himself of these contaminants, his devotional creeper will not grow. So many times I used to ask Prabhuji, Prabhu, the weakness of heart, how to overcome. Many times we feel that we aspire that we want to be a good devotee, we want to be our sadhana has to be perfect, and many times we fail. Why we are failing? This continuously, we aspire, like as a sadhana, we try, we want to become a nice devotee, we want to do nice devotional service, we want to chant nicely, do everything nicely, but frequently we are failing. Why we are failing? Because we do not have the spiritual strength to perform the devotional service. Why we do not have the spiritual strength? Because we are having this kind of weakness. Why we are having this weakness? Because due to our previous lives, our sinful activities, all because of that one, we are having this Hridaya Durbalyam. Because of our sinful activities, many births we are accumulating that one. Because of that, even though now we are in the association of the devotees, by seeing them, we aspire that we should also be a nice devotee. We should also be preach many people. We should chant nicely. But many times we fail. We fail to meet the standards because of this, the Hridaya Durbalyam. How to overcome this Hridaya Durbalyam? Means, like by our own endeavor, we cannot be able to overcome the weakness of heart. Somebody who is a very strong personality, so the Mahatmas, from them we have to surrender ourselves, and we have to render service nicely, then we can overcome all this. But many times, sadhakas, we pray to Krishna, tomorrow onwards, not tomorrow onwards, we are very clever, we last night tomorrow, we will not give fixed time. Krishna, immediately I want to, because immediate means there is no time frame, like immediate week, immediate month, immediate year or something. Krishna, immediately I want to become a, like pure devotee. I want to serve nicely. I have to be a sincere devotee. I have to read every day nicely. I have to avoid all these material activities. I do not want to do this, I should not aspire for material things. I should not hunger for this material prosperity. I want to be a nice devotee. Okay, Krishna is saying when Krishna is so merciful. Whenever we are asking, immediately He will grant the things. If you want Krishna, I want to read, Krishna will give time. Krishna, I want to stand, Krishna will provide time. Even however hectic our work is there, if you are sincerely asking, I want to do this devotional service, I want to do it, Krishna will provide. Anybody is here that I'm praying to Krishna, Krishna, I want some time to read, I want to do some service, I'm crying. Krishna is so cruel, he's not giving. Anybody is he is here to say that? I'm really asking that Krishna is so cruel. I want to serve him. I want to do this devotional. I want to read. I have firm determination. I want to do this one. Krishna is not giving me. Krishna is engaging me in other material activities. I have never experienced this one because whenever we go towards Krishna, whenever we simple desire, Krishna is giving multiple options to us to perform devotional. That's the reason we are saying Krishna is so merciful. Krishna is so merciful. We are doing repeatedly, we are doing mistakes. Krishna is not seeing our mistakes. Krishna is seeing our desire. Again, like how many times he fall down, whether he is coming, he is willing to come back to me or not. So Krishna is giving opportunity. Every time it's Krishna is giving us. So if we want to overcome this, so when we are praying Krishna, we carefully praying that Krishna, I want to be a nice devotee, but not now. Let me enjoy, or let me do this kind of activities for some more time, 1 week time, next week time. I will do. After this, you make me a devotee. After that, I will not hunger for any devotee. Only provide me this one, like this position, this money, or this thing. I want to this one. After that, I will be free. Krishna, we are thinking that, one way, it is like cheating Krishna. Krishna is the biggest cheater, right? We should not force Krishna to do that one. Like when everything is right, we have to surrender Krishna, then our path will be, very smooth. Otherwise, Krishna is so merciful that he will, before we are ready, he will give that one. So that weakness of karma, we want to overcome this one, the Durvalya, like we need to associate with it. Prabhupada write in the purport that the Mahatmas can create, with the association of Mahatmas, the other Mahatmas are developing. So the key point is that, somehow or other, we have to be in the association of the devotee. Like this example, like we want to get into this metro train, we have to go and sit in the middle. So then we no effort, they will inside they will take us. We should not be sideways. And then we have to put the other side, we cannot be able to enter. We have to be the gate. Similarly, we have to be somehow or other, we have to be in the association of the devotees, serving them. They will not ask for their personal thing, they will give some service for the Lord. Even for a Mahatmas, we can do their personal service, which is a great opportunity. Then generally we won't get, but even if we get that one, we have to do that one. So by the association of the devotees, then we can overcome this weakness. Weakness can be overcome, when we become strong. So when we will become strong, we have to be associated with the strong people in devotional service. We can become strong. So we said that, like the 6 enemies we all know: lust, anger, greed, illusion, mada, matsarya, lust, anger, greed. Then the 6 waves comes from this one. I just searched and then I found Chandramouli Swami Maharaj is giving that one. What are all that? 6 waves. That 6 waves. Anarthas cause the 6 enemies: love, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. These 6 enemies bring about 6 waves. That is distress, illusion, hunger, thirst, old age, and death. The things that attack us. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that by performing Nama Sankirtana, Anantas fly away. By doing simply we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. This very simple process. By simply chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, everything will be arranged. arranged. So this Maya, the philosophers, they say that if you are thinking, then the universe will make every arrangement for you like that. One way, if you are intensely we desire, Krishna will arrange everything for us. Every conducive arrangements, Krishna will come. Okay. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, they say that Apanna Samsritam Gora, Yennam Vivaso Granan, Tato Sadhu Michyate, Yet Vivati, Swayam Payam. So living beings who are entangled in the complicated messes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. So all these anarthas, everything will be simply go away by taking the shelter of the holy name. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Ye Gora Samsare Pari Krishna Namalaya Satya Mukta Haya Hara Baya. After falling into this terrible world of repeated birth and death, one who takes Krishna's name is quickly liberated, fear itself becomes afraid. So we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, how like this Yamadutas went and complained about Yamaraja that we are thinking that you are the supreme, but somebody is subjecting me, who is that supreme? Like that they are asking, they are afraid about this Vishnu Dutas. Then Yamaraj is giving very wonderful narrations about you never ever go near to these devotees, those who are chanting Krishna's name, never ever go to him. Right? They have to be treated differently. Like that he is giving instruction. So this is the symptom of, like when we are chanting in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 20, says, if one's heart does not change, tears do not flow from his eyes, his body does not shiver, and his body do not stand on an end as he chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it should be understood that his heart is as hard as iron. This is due to his offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's holy name. So for this, Srila Prabhupada gives very nice purport and quoting his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Somebody in a neophyte stage also, while doing this, they can be able to exhibit this kind of symptoms, like crying and all this kind of symptoms, but it should not be considered like that. Actually, in terms of Prabhupada writes, I can read this, the purport very nicely. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur commenting on this verse, which is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.24, remarks that sometimes a Mahabhagavata or a very advanced devotee does not manifest such transcendental symptoms as tears in the eye, whereas sometimes a Kanistha Adhikari, a neophyte devotee, displays them artificially. This does not mean, however, that the neophyte is more advanced than the Mahabhagavata devotee. The test of the real change of the heart that takes place when one chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is that one becomes detached from material enjoyment. This is the symptom. This is the real change. Bhakti Parisan Bhave, Viraktir Anyatra Cha. Bhagavad 11:42. If one is actually advancing in spiritual life, he must become very much detached from material and enjoyment. If it is sometimes found that a Kanistha Adhikari shows artificial tears in his eyes while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, but is still completely attached to material things, his heart has not really changed. The change must be manifested in terms of one's real activities. So this thing, like why we do not feel the symptoms, when we are chanting, long time we are chanting, we are not, this is the symptom, when we are doing that one. So our heart is like an iron, hot iron. So these offenses has to be avoided. These things. And artificially also we should not, that we are displaying this kind of qualities, and then to seek like something we should not show this also for artists, but it has to manifest and it has to be measured. Like when we are doing this one, Prabhupada is giving the change must be manifested in terms of one's real activities. And Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Then here, do you have any comments or questions? This is very, very wonderful verse. I don't know, I'm justified in this kind of verses. We have to hear from His Grace Prabhuji and Srimad Prabhuji. It's a very nice verse. One point, Prabhupada mentioned that even the pure devotees, they are not distracted from the 400 form of Vishnu. They are only interested. They are not interested in 400 form of Vishnu. They are interested in the 200 form of Vishnu. See, many times Prabhupada mentioned Shyam Sundar also. Devotees are interested in the form of Shyam Sundar.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Can you show me the last slide? The last point is mentioned. The change must be manifested in terms of one's real activity. So, Prabhuji, when we come to association of the devotees and we can see our activity. We can try to change our activity. But it comes when we go to our activity like duties and all. It's very difficult. Can you explain us how is your activity performance in your personal life so that we can improve?
Very nice question, Prabhuji. Even though I am not qualified to answer this one, I will just share my realization and my understanding. Like devotee has to be a devotee all time, 24/7. A devotee, like Friday satsang, when we are associating with the devotees, one characteristics, when we are associating with the materialistic people or when we are workplace, different set of characteristics. Actually, it is not possible. See, if you are devotees means like the devotees are very compassionate. Even in our workplace also, we have to be more compassionate towards them because somehow or other they are not coming or they are reluctant to come to the spiritual path. The different aspects will be there, but just by seeing us, our behavior should be like by just seeing them, they have to think that how this person is looking different, like this person is handling things in office very nicely. What is the secret? He's handling things. See, the same situation comes to us. We will be get tense, we will argue, we will fight it. But the same situation, the guy is handling in a different way. How he is doing? This kind of impression we have to make in our workplace. And actually, we are, according to our situation in our devotion service, our dealings will also be different in our workplaces, wherever we are there. So So that is the preaching. That is the real preaching. So when we are, you see, like for example, I am giving one example that tomorrow you are bringing one of your friends from your office to Friday program, and he sees you here. Very nice, very cool, always smiling, everything you are doing, you are serving nicely. But this person in office is totally different, like he's always shouting and very strict. Then you will think, there is, this reality is there. This person has two faces. On Friday he is very nice, and the rest of the day is different. That will not look good, right? So, so, so when we are in office, like it is a little difficult only. You cannot be sometimes, like Nagamuni is giving one example that one hunter Nirgadi, he became a very nice devotee of Nagamuni. Nirgadi or some other devotee, okay, whatever it is, one devotee, he kills, like half killing or you do all things. He said, he preached him, he became a very nice devotee. Then he said, hereafter, you should not harm anyone. You sit there, whatever you are getting, you take, and then after that he become very nice sadhu. Then people are like small children and all going and throwing the stone and other thing and saying that he become very weak, and I think this is for a snake. This is for a snake. So that's Nagamuni is having power to change the snake also in the very nice devotion. That is a Mahatma. The snake is very humble. Other thing, then the people are throwing stones and other thing, then he become very weak. And next time when Nagamuni came and asked, why you so weak? Because you told, you don't bite anyone and other thing. The small children comes and throw stones and sticks. What I have to do? I don't know that I'm fighting and here and there. I told don't bite and other thing. I don't show you to show your, like food. Then like when snake, so like that nobody will come. Similarly, we have to exhibit anger, but inside we should not become really angry. Yeah, anger comes means we are every time out of our control we become angry means we are failing. We are failing. We have to show anger, but to just like the snake how we make this thing we have to get anger. But really every time, I'm not saying that we cannot able to get angry. We get angry because we are all in the progressive stage. Many times, some irritation will come. We'll get angry. But generally, whenever we get angry out of the thing, then we should think that we fail. We fail. We have to get angry for Krishna consciousness. Somebody is blessed from the devotees. Somebody is blessed from the scripture. We have to show our real anger, and then we have to do all kind of things. For materialistic things, for me to achieve something, somebody is took away our thing. If we get angry means we are failing. So this is the kind Prabhuji, this we have to practice. It's very difficult. It's not very difficult, Prabhuji. Like naturally, when like sometimes then like over a period of time, we have many people by seeing them, their activities like childish, like somebody, for example, if somebody took away the gold or diamond and take it away from you, then maybe you'll get angry and other things. So somebody taken some small things, trivial things to take away. For a devotee, everything is nothing actually. Yeah, our aim is big, and whatever in workplace, maybe they will encroach a little bit our things and other things that we can show a little food, but at the same time, we are not care for that. This way, we have to, in our workplace, we have to, a devotee has to be every time same. So I'm saying this one, but my wife say that in Friday session you are bending like anything at home. You are not doing the same thing. Sometimes they will say the reality is there, but we have to aware about that. The same Friday also same person, home also same person. So so we are not doing proper sadhana. Actually, I'm just waiting for the day my wife say you are a good devotee. That means I am a real devotee. We can put drama for 1 hour and make some things. At home, we cannot make that drama. One day I go that if I'm praying to Allah, the other day, you are a nice devotee. Correct.
Hare Krishna.
I hope this will happen in this lifetime.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving such wonderful disclosure on truth, especially this room. Then I will personally do probably get from that. Because I know there are so many anecdotes you will cover. The way you explain what is Mahatma, and then different pastimes of Mahatma, where we're giving the example of Guru Parampara, especially focusing on the relationship of Gaur Kishore Das Babu Maharaj, as well as the Siddhanta Circle. Very nicely explained. I like that part of what Srila Prabhupada always keeps saying, that he's just giving the 5% of his Guru Maharaj, which I've never heard before. And then you also mentioned about the material Mahatma, by giving an example of Mahatma Gandhi. He is not Mahatma. And again, example of Mother Teresa, we always have this example of another understanding that Mother Teresa is the real mother of human being, and the way she has served the human all around the world and so on. However, how Srila Prabhupada has that kind of understanding of only focusing on the outer covering of Jiva and not saving the soul. Which is again a classic example of polishing the cage. Then you move to the Mayavadi and then explain the wonderful pastime of his divine grace Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj and one of the Mayavadi. Then the cheap donation part was my real data. It's very, very important because sometimes we really want to support the association and congregation, we try to get donations.